What do you say about someone like Clare Oliver? Words like remarkable and courageous are all very well, but they don't begin to describe this wonderful young woman. When we met last week, doctors had just told her she only had days to live, but that didn't stop her. She was absolutely determined to get her message across, determined to help save others from skin cancer. And single-handedly she succeeded, where any number of high-powered experts have failed. Clare has forced governments to act, to crack down on solariums across Australia. It's an inspiring victory in the battle against melanoma, but it's a victory that will break your heart. These are Clare Oliver's last days. At 26, her body has all but shut down. Hello.
Hi, Liz.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
A melanoma diagnosed 4 years ago is about to claim her life. How are you feeling?
Had a pretty rough day today.
Did you? So, every day it's a struggle?
Every day. Start off the day, not being able to breathe. Just basically sitting in bed with one of these and just going, trying to suck as much air as I can, and then the next thing you know, I'm vomiting my brains out, and yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, it's not fun at all, and you know.
It's devastating to be with someone who just shouldn't be dying. Clare believes her lust for a tan and time in a solarium contributed to her cancer. It was about the tan, wasn't it?
Yes.
Which we're all guilty of, wanting from time to time. I mean, what do you say to your, young people out there who are watching?
Don't follow the fads. Like, I know it's so easy to, look at magazines, look at celebrities and look at how beautiful they are, but also look at me. What do you choose? I think I choose life. I choose to be fair. I choose to live my life and walk, to that garden and to travel the world and not, die at the age of 26 because I don't want to.
Melanomas kill more young Australians than any other cancer, and the main culprit has always been the sun. Now, doctors say it's time the public understood solariums are also dangerous and must share the blame.
What is absolutely clear is that solarium use is associated with increased rates of skin cancer. There's a 75% increase in the rate of melanoma, particularly in young people that have had solarium use before the age of 35.
How are you doing today, Clare?
Associate Professor Grant MacArthur is Clare's doctor.
Couldn't breathe this morning.
He's an oncologist and specialist in melanoma. And is there such a thing as a safe dose of UV rays?
That is not clear. However, it is clear that UV radiation from solariums can mutate cells. And personally, I wouldn't go near one.
You would never?
I would not.
It's noisy and it's hot. I can literally feel the heat just by touching it. And the light is piercing. When you use one of these, you literally toast your body on both sides at once. But for those who love a tan, it's convenient. In a solarium, the sun never goes down. All it takes is a few minutes every couple of days. But perhaps that's because the rays in here are 5 times more powerful than the midday sun. And we all know how lethal the sun can be. All right, can I have a look?
Sure.
Oh, that's a large scar, isn't it?
This is basically after the initial mole was removed.
At just 30, Saffron Stiles had a melanoma cut from the back of her leg earlier this year. She too spent many hours on a sunbed. How often would you use a solarium?
I was probably using a solarium 1 to 2 times a week.
And what role do you think solariums played in that melanoma?
Well, I certainly think they can't be ruled out. There was something that I did fairly consistently for 10 years.
It's been a traumatic experience and it's far from over.
Yeah, all the moles on the back of your legs look fine.
Every 3 months for the next 5 years, she must be examined to be sure the cancer hasn't returned.
I'm clear now, but I have a high chance of it reoccurring. Not necessarily in the same place, it could be somewhere else.
That must frighten you.
It's quite scary. Yeah.
A baked chicken, like you're in a spit, but you're lying down. You're taking all these rays, it's like you're a baked chicken.
And you could feel yourself cooking.
Cooking, literally cooking, a tingle on your skin, and you've got the oil, just like a chicken. So that's it there.
The story is the same, only the name has changed. 26-year-old model and dancer Anna Burgess used to tan in a solarium as often as twice a week. But a diagnosis of skin cancer put a stop to that.
I was embarrassed and I was scared because I couldn't really talk about openly. Well, I could, but it was my fault. How embarrassing is that?
You have no doubt that your time in the solarium was a major contributor, if not the contributor, to your skin cancer.
I have no doubt that, the main reason I had skin cancer was because of my use of solariums.
No doubt at all.
No doubt. You don't see me sort of sunbaking like this anymore.
Anna now realises how lucky she was. She still loves going to the beach, but always with a hat and sunglasses. And she's more than happy to let her tan fade.
Double whammy.
Wow, look at that tan.
Wow. Now that's not sexy. I don't know about you. Wow.
See, now that's the bronzed Aussie.
Yeah, there we have it. I think there is still that stigma out there that brown is cool, especially in our age group. It makes you look slimmer, it makes you look healthier, sexy. My boyfriend loves it when I'm brown. I say if he says that.
In Australia, the solarium business is booming, and the number of salons has increased by 300% in the last decade.
Hi Shirley, how are you? Morning Aristi, how are you? Hi, how are you?
And every day, thousands of young men and women take their chances and subject their bodies to its powerful rays. I guess this is something you enjoy. It's a replication of the sun for you.
Well, I don't get a chance to actually sit out in the sun and sunbake, so when I've got an event on or an occasion, I will come once a fortnight or something like that just to get a glow. Yeah.
26-year-old Aristi says she knows the risks of solarium use, but that hasn't stopped her tanning this way for the past 7 years. Do you use any sun protection product in the solarium?
I do cover my freckles with sunscreen, SPF 30 or 50.
Before you go in the solarium?
Yeah, with my freckles definitely, and I get them checked at least twice a year as well.
What is it that you love about having a tan?
I guess it makes me feel healthier, having a bit of a bronzed glow.
And that is the problem. To many, a tan is considered the epitome of good health. Clearly, it isn't.
Yes, we need to let young people know that solariums are dangerous. I was a 22-year-old, just graduated from uni and just got into the workforce, and yeah, it was all great, and then suddenly my world came crashing down.
Clare Oliver only visited a solarium 10 times back when she was a teenager, but she thinks those tanning sessions did the damage.
I was young and I stupidly chose to make the wrong choice.
But do you think that you were properly informed, particularly when it came to solariums?
No, not at that time.
These aren't sunbeds in people's minds, these are deathbeds.
Yeah, that's exactly what people are saying, yeah.
You would refute that, of course.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Scott Manili is CEO of Body Bronze, Victoria's biggest solarium franchise. He maintains sunbeds are a smart way to get a tan. Okay, so you, the fair-haired child you are, would be happy to use one of these?
I do, yeah, absolutely.
There is no way that you can pinpoint a salarium as being the cause of cancer. You can't, unless it's the only UV exposure you're getting.
The Australasian College of Dermatologists says there's just no such thing as a safe tan. What would you say?
I would disagree.
They're wrong and you're right.
Because all of the research that I have done looking into other reports.
But Scott,
there's numerous reports.
These are dermatologists. These are people who are trained to make these judgments. With the greatest respect, you're not.
Absolutely I'm not, and I don't
but yet
claim
you
to be.
disagree.
Absolutely, because for every negative report that you can show me on skin cancer, I will find you a positive report. And that is the way of science.
There is a direct link between solariums and skin cancer.
There is indeed. All the major studies have been analysed and the conclusions are clear.
Because the solarium industry would want us to believe that there is no link.
I would disagree with the solarium industry. Might also say, just that it is clear that tobacco has cancer-causing substances in it, UV radiation from solariums mutates cells. That is clear.
Bottom line is you have a lethal weapon in your possession.
Yes.
And you have a duty of care.
We do.
And it would appear that there is reason to believe that not everybody has been respecting that duty of care.
Then that is something that the professional tanning salons and the salons that run their businesses properly need assistance with.
You agree that it's time for regulation?
It was time a long time ago.
And now, because of the bravery of one girl, that regulation is finally happening.
When I started this journey of awareness, I didn't realise the impact that it would have.
A week ago, after Clare first went public, both the federal and Victorian governments promised to crack down on the solarium industry. Clare changed the law. Are you surprised by that?
I was very surprised. This is just remarkable. Clare has touched people's hearts with her predicament. We have had campaigns in the past and they have not been successful. I think it's clear that Clare is a far more effective communicator on this than people like me.
That is just spectacular. That is just spectacular. It is actually.
We all know the dangers of the sun, but the message about those same destructive rays duplicated in solariums is not being understood.
A few days ago, doctor told me I only had a few more days. And I don't like hearing that I've only got a few more days because I feel like I've got so much more life. For every day that I pass and I haven't passed, I think it's such a bonus. But it's so scary.
For me, seeing a beautiful 26-year-old so bravely facing up to death is impossibly sad. But by telling her story, Clare Oliver hopes she can warn others about the dangers of dying for a tan.
I wanted to go outside just yesterday. I wanted to paint. I love painting and then the oxygen tank ran out. And I had to come back to my room and I wasn't finished. I couldn't breathe independently. You know, that's part and parcel with melanoma. It's not just about the skin. It's about a lot of things.
You break my heart. I guess the important part is for this not to be in vain.
Yes. This is exactly why I want the message out there. I don't want my death to be in vain. I want the message out there.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9 Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.